What's up, and welcome back to the Christian J Show. So today's topic is going to be over The Little Mermaid, the live action version. Now, I know everyone had some mixed reactions to this movie. Some were good, some were downright rude, and some were just downright nasty. The fact that some of you could not allow yourself to experience this movie in a live action form is actually crazy. You all let your feelings for the original version cloud your judgment, and instead of you say, well, you know what, I'm gonna see if it's just like the original. If it's not like the original, I'm gonna see if I still like it. Y'all couldn't do that. First of all, you called it woke because they had got a black actress. If they wanted to get a white actress, they would have gotten a white actress, but they didn't. They gave it to Halle Bailey, and I thought she did magnificent in that role. And the fact that she saw what everyone was saying, all the racist comments, all the racist everything, she saw it, but she chose not to respond. And that's what we don't see a lot nowadays. But I love people like her, Beyonce, let's see, Denzel Washington, Viola Davis, Angela Bassett, and so many more people. They don't speak out to the haters like that. They really don't. They don't say nothing. They let their work show. And that's what I loved about Halle when she was talking, and I was reading up on everything. Because remember, she got the role back in 2019. When she was announced, when it was announced that she was going to be the new Ariel, everyone came out the woodwork, spewing racist comments, racist slurs, every little thing up under the sun. That lasted all the way till the teaser trailer, which happened in September. Yeah. So when it was announced, and then when the teaser trailer happened, it happened that long. And why were you so upset? It's not like you are going to actually meet Ariel, or you're going to go in the ocean and dive in there and speak to her and King Triton and all of them. No. You let your racism show, and then you want to say, oh, well, we wasn't being racist. All we were saying was her hair is not red. Stop lying. You was not saying that her hair wasn't red. You might have said that, but no. You were saying much more than her hair isn't red. Why isn't her hair red? You were saying so much more than that. And I highly doubt that if you saw Halle in person, you wouldn't say anything. You would be quiet. Like, this movie was good. But the fact that y'all could not allow yourself to just enjoy a movie. Now, yeah, you probably was like, okay, but Disney keep on giving us, they're not doing their thing, they're basically just giving us all the same thing. They're basically just they're not giving us anything. And as I read the reviews, let me go ahead and say this. Some of y'all really were crazy. I know one comment said, to anyone who is planning on seeing this movie, this was 2 years ago at that now. To anyone who is planning on seeing this movie, I highly recommend to wait until it comes out on Disney Plus or something so you don't waste your money. I only went to see the movie because of my daughter, and we can both say that this movie did not live up to our expectations. Furthermore, we did not enjoy the majority of the movie at all. They go on to say the first thing that majorly but my daughter and I was all the unnecessary changes that they made to the movie. They took out everything that made the original so beautiful. Prince Eric never had any parents in the original. His father passed away before the movie starts, and that's why Grimsey is desperately helping Eric look for a wife so he could become king and continue his father's duties. Why now all of a sudden insert his parents into the movie? Eric and Ariel had absolutely no chemistry at all. Their relationship, the entire movie, seemed extra awkward and forced. Now, first of all, I'm gonna stop it right there because first of all, Ariel and Eric had tons of chemistry in this movie. When you look at Halle Bailey and Jonah King, yeah, you were like, okay, they had chemistry. And they exude that chemistry into the movie. But let's go ahead and continue. As for the music changes, they absolutely infuriated me. It was completely unnecessary to have all of these new lyrics. Why have Ariel sing in Under the Sea? The whole point of the song was that Ariel disagreed with Sebastian, and she left during it because of how uninterested she was. Are you kidding me that the Daughters of Triton song was removed? They even renamed the sisters. Didn't feel like we were watching The Little Mermaid at all, but more of a huge ripoff of it. And don't even get me started about the Scuttle song. It was horrific. Okay, now, I can agree with that. The Scuttle song. I found it to be like kind of cute. The Scuttle, but the Scuttle. Like, it was funny, but it was unnecessary though. Like, I found it okay. It was funny. The song was funny, but to each his own. Then they go on to say, yeah, I know this is a long review for this person. The next thing I must criticize is the CGI and visuals for this movie. The entire movie from start to finish was extremely dark and gloomy. There were times where my daughter and I couldn't even see anything because of how dark it was. There were also some very scary looking visuals in scenes, so I would be wary of bringing young children to see this. Sebastian, Scuttle, and Flounder all looked terrifying. Ariel looked very awkward and non-realistic when swimming around with her weirdly orange-brown hair. It barely looked like Disney even tried to make an effort to make this look somewhat decent, and it just seems like this movie is more of a woke crash grab. There goes that word again. Woke. The last thing that was awful were the casting choices. I enjoyed Halle Bailey's singing voice, but did not see her as a good fit for Ariel. She may be able to sing, but her acting was terrible. People are finally saying, hold on before I even get there. First of all, wasn't Ariel mute the majority of the movie? Miss Girl was mute for the majority of the movie, so how was the acting terrible? The Habitat area wasn't even in half of the scenes. So, what we talking about? People are saying, finally, a live-action princess that can sing. But what about acting? First of all, how about you don up your tights and put on your little dress and go up there and be a little princess and twirl around? part of your world. But you go up there and do that. Isn't that a major factor too? I would give her a pass though, since I don't believe that she was even an actress in the first place. That's why I'm gonna stop you right there. Because Miss Girl was an actress. Miss Girl been an actress. Okay, let's go ahead and nip that in the bud, alright? Halle Bailey is a single songwriter and actress. Okay? Halle has been in multiple things. The Little Mermaid, Last Holiday, The Color Purple, Let It Shine, Grownish, The Line, A Motown Christmas, which was like a little special they did. And then she had her own little visual thing for her song In Your Hands. Then she was in Beyonce's Lemonade visual movie. So this girl has been acting. She was in Quincy. She was in a bunch of things, okay? Let's be very clear. But y'all might know her from Grownish, or if you know her, you will know her from Let It Shine. Alright? As I said, like I said, people love to throw that word woke around. My thing is, the word woke, when it is pertaining to black people and y'all try to use it as a way to diminish black things or anything, that is always a key word for me. It always shows me that y'all are just saying the project is too black. There are too many black people. All of the black people. Y'all remember that what it was at their graduation? This principal, they had messed up the program, and she was like, "Oh, well, the program was just messed up, and this blah 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 blah, and we need to do this. Y'all need to do this." And she was like, "Oh, look who's all leaving, all the black people." Yeah, that's how it sounds when y'all say, "Oh, this is woke, this is woke, this is woke." Now, let's go ahead and sing like this. Let's go ahead and finish this thing. It says, "I will give her a pass, though, since I don't believe that she was even an actress in the first place. It seemed like we were watching a movie about a different mermaid, which is honestly what I wish Disney did instead. There is no reason to shove this wokeness down all of our throats just to have," this is in quotations, y'all, "more representation, or to be more inconclusive. If Disney truly cared about our black brothers and sisters, they could have made a new movie that originated from an African folktale that had a black main protagonist instead of giving them the leftover scraps. As for the person who voiced actor Sebastian, it was an absolutely horrifying performance. Sounded like he was completely emotionless all the time. And why did Disney think it was a good idea to change Scudder into a female? I really don't mind a woman voicing him, but was it really necessary to change his entire gender just because his voice actor was female?" But I should also add that the woman who voiced her did terrible as well. These are my Aquafina child. And Triton's daughters plus Eric's parents casting seemed very, very wokely forced as well. I'm not going to say the people's name because we're not going to do that. But if I had to, I would. And just a bunch of other parts. Other reviews. This one review right here. This is the only review that person had. This review right here says that Ursula Park was the best. She loved her. Sebastian and Prince Air's performance was not a fan of the wasn't a fan of that. Not a fan of them changing Scuttle. Also, Air not being born a prince. Some random king and queen adopted him. Like really, King Triton is a player. He has dogs of every race. What? Okay. Okay, now that was funny. Not a player now. Anyway, the Ursula part was perfect. She even sounded like her in the eye, but the eye makeup was a bit too heavy. But besides that, she's my favorite. Then Sebastian, then Eric, then Flounder. My least favorite is honestly Ariel. Her acting belongs in a mediocre TV show. Her singing voice is too squeaky, and she went off key a few times. Let's see you do better, sister. Let's see you do better. Party of World reprise. Go. Wrap it up. Her hair color is off. The fin is pretty. And I really want to like her. She's playing my favorite Disney princess after all. But I'd rather have Zendaya. Who? Nothing against Zendaya because I love me some Zendaya, okay? But first of all, people that say that, people that always say that they'll rather have another black actress, they always say Zendaya. Like, don't we have some more black actresses other than Zendaya? I'm pretty sure Zendaya gets tired of y'all throwing her name up and stuff. Like, Miss Girl probably like, well, dog, can't y'all find somebody else to do the thing? Y'all don't ever want to find nobody else. Now, and then this person said even Halsey did better on the song. Then they said my top two picks would be Bella Thorne or Ely Du or whoever the hell that is. It said Zendaya is my fave MJ. She can act and sing anyone but this. This whatever. First of all, I can't write or anything because it's not me. I know how to read. First acting role shouldn't be something this big. Congratulations, Disney. Another terrible live action movie. The worst in my opinion. The pacing was off. Felt too rushed. I'd rather have a new animated Little Mermaid film with Melody being grown. Maybe she falls for a merman. Besides Triton, Scuttle, and Ariel, everyone else was perfect. I also think Queen Latifah would have been a good Ursula. I love her. But Melissa did great. They should have done one about a new mermaid story. Then I could enjoy a new mermaid film. Anyway, rant over. This movie is a disappointment and I hated it. Okay. Like, okay. Alright. Like, okay, so the problem with that review was they just didn't like how Ariel's acting was. They didn't like how Halle Bailey's acting was. They said her singing voice was so squeaky and this, that, and the third. Oh my God. Oh, please. Find something else. This person talking about, I did not like this movie. It seemed forced and they tried way too hard. Ariel was off key. They changed the movie from the original. The cartoon movie Little Mermaid was way better. Okay, first of all, this right here, when it says, in this review, it says the wedding was on the ship. First of all, in the end, they did not get married. If you actually watch the movie, you did not see him put a ring on her finger. They did not get married. Because I felt like this, the live action one, set up like a, how do I want to put it, like a, almost like a cliffhanger, but not a cliffhanger. No, as a bridge into going into like a sequel, if you get what I'm saying. And I mean, multiple people wanted to see like Ariel's sister, just like, okay, well, when we're gonna see Ariel's sisters? Okay. And then this one talking about in the real life, there was no concert by Sebastian. I mean, it really wasn't a concert, but it was all the animals came and there was like it wasn't no concert, but everybody was just there though. It just they had no instruments like the first one, so like the original. Okay, so why? My thing is, the sisters tried to find Ariel in the live action. I kind of like that. I like that they added that because it shows how their family unit is. They're concerned about their sister. They're wondering where their sister was, so they're gonna go try to find her. Then you got the wedding was at a castle. Did they even get married? I'm trying to remember. Did they actually get married? I don't think they did. I think that they just went off into the next adventure. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember, did they actually get married? I could be wrong. I could be. So I could be wrong. But my thing is, why all why all the hate? Okay, it's one thing not to like the movie, but then it's another thing to get mad at actors. Like this one says, I wanted to share my thoughts on the recent live adaptation of The Little Mermaid. Firstly, it is not racist for Disney fans to want Ariel to be fair skinned with bright red hair. Okay, nobody said it's racist that y'all want that, but we said it's racist because y'all are attacking Halle because she is not a fair skinned white woman with some dumb red hair. That's the racism we're talking about. Like, if you have nothing positive to say about Halle Bailey, don't say anything at all. First of all, you don't have anything positive to say about the movie. Don't say nothing at all. This one says, wanting Disney to stick with how beloved characters look from the cartoons they are bringing to life is what Disney fans should be getting. First of all, this movie, the original one was 1989. This one came out 2023. Okay, at some point Disney gonna change something. So you can either get with the times, or you just stop watching it altogether. Because first and foremost, you getting all up in the air over a movie that is basically made for children, and you're up here in your mid-40s to early 50s, or your early 30s or mid-30s or early 40s, upset over a done fish. That's surprising. Having watched the movie, I found myself quite disappointed. While I understood the intention to reinterpret beloved stories, these live adaptations are remakes of the cartoons. Ugh, oh my God, no. Child, please. Moreover, the visual representation of King Triton was also a letdown. His character should embody the strong, majestic figure we all remember. With the absence of the armor, they gave him a lot they gave him in the live adaptation. They should have stuck with a mirror bare chest and flowing long white hair and beard. Okay, they did that. When have y'all said, why they got in front of our children? Y'all would have found any way to say something as a way to, they're doing this in front of the kids, they're doing this in front of the kids. We know y'all. The changes to Prince Eric's character were also puzzling. The essence of him being a true prince is a foundational aspect that should remain intact. One of my main concerns lies in the character designs. As an iconic classic, I believe the character should reflect their original animated looks. For instance, Flounder and Scuttle appear drastically different, which detracted from their nostalgia. Similarly, first of all, what you say? Child, it ain't me, it's them. Ariel's portrayal left much to be desired. She lacked the vibrancy and the striking red hair that made her unforgettable. I feel like casting decisions should be considered in these elements to honor the legacy of the cartoon. But first and foremost, if you're not Jodie Benson, who actually voiced Ariel in the animated version, then I don't think your opinion has much weight. I really don't. Yeah, child. It's just all of this. All of this. But there is some positive things. There is some positive things. I am going to be reading some of the good ones. This one says, way to go, Disney. An amazing remake of the tale of 1989, Little Mermaid, that captivated the hearts of my children when they were kids, and in the hands of the talented Halle Bailey as Ariel. The time of the story receives a stunning revelation. Dog cannot talk today. Now this is on me. Revitalization, baby. I got it now. That will leave audiences of all ages spellbound. Bursting with the 3D animation. Okay, so this person went to go see it in 3D. Vibrant colors, breathtaking visuals, and an iconic soundtrack. Because, baby, let me take it that soundtrack to die for. Right then and there. This new rendition of the classic Disney fairy tale is a triumph that will make you believe in the power of dreams and the magic of the sea. Halle's portrayal of Ariel is nothing short of extraordinary, despite all the negative backlash, because she is different from the mythological character original. Her ethereal beauty and graceful presence breathe life into the iconic mermaid princess, adding a fresh and modern perspective to the character we all know and love. Bailey's voice, both angelic and powerful, effortlessly carries the film's mesmerizing melodies, pulling us deeper into the world beneath the waves. The entire cast and storyline give the viewer a glimpse of how people of all walks of life can understand and live with one another. The supporting cast delivers performances that are nothing short of superb. Melissa McCarthy's portrayal of the wicked sea witch Ursula is a revelation, blending equal parts charisma and menace, making her a formidable force to be reckoned with. Javier Bardem's whatever, King Triton commands the screen with regal authority and the depth of emotion that tugs at the heartstrings. And not to forget the delightful duo of Flounder and Sebastian, whose comedic timing and infectious energy provide much needed moments of levity and joy, just like in the original. But it's the music that truly steals the show. The Little Mermaid with Halle Bailey as Ariel is a glorious celebration of diversity and representation. Bailey's casting not only breaks barriers but also sets a new standard for inclu- dog, inclusivity in Hollywood. Her performance is a testament to the power of dreams and the importance of embracing our true selves, no matter the circumstances. This movie reminds us that everyone deserves to have their voice heard and their story told. And so many more great um, reviews. This person said another Disney live action game. I'm such a huge Disney fan. People may not love the long list of remakes Disney is doing. It's very much clear that it's basic marketing strategy, but that doesn't directly mean that they're not putting any effort into these new films. The Little Mermaid has been a classic fairy tale, and I love everything about the original animated version. That's why I was highly anticipated for this remake. First of all, Ariel. I love Halle Bailey as Ariel, opposed to all the controversy around the race of the actress. Where Ariel is a fictional character, hence you cannot be fixated on her skin color. Besides, what really matters is actual acting. Halle Bailey did a flawless job as Ariel. Her voice is angelic, as it should be, because on the contrary to the animated version, they shifted the story a little bit, and Ariel has the abilities of a siren. Yes, a siren and mermaids are completely different mythical creatures. She can revive anyone with her singing as Cyrus can, but she's basically a mermaid. Yeah. I really appreciate the casting and screen time of each character. We even got a lot of great backstory about Prince Eric, which is great to opposed to just knowing he's a handsome prince. Also, they tried to fit all the information of the three animated films into this one, just like mentioning the death of Ariel's mother and knowing that Prince Eric is adopted. Even though I would have appreciated a little more screen time for all of Ariel's sisters because they're so fun to watch, but sometimes less is more. The storyline and plot is exactly the same as the original, except for some musical scenes and a cameo from Jodie Benson, and some more other scenes. There were some more other scenes where it wasn't like the original, but like there are so many good reviews, and to see that a lot of people are saying you can't focus on her skin color, you can't focus on that because that doesn't define who Ariel is. First of all, Ariel is a mermaid. She's a mythical creature, so mythological creature, right? If you want to put it. So you can't be fixated on skin color because first and foremost, it's mythological creature, mythical creature, all that. They're not real. Ooh, they're not real. Now, I do like this one. It says, don't listen to these bad reviews. It's hilarious. The links people are going to go so you don't watch it. This person says, I am by no means leftist or whatever. I'm simply a 28-year-old millennial this was 2 years ago, who wants little children to enjoy this movie the way I did growing up. I loved every second of it, especially the choice of Ariel's actress. The hair color they gave her along with skin tone was perfect for Ariel's wardrobe. Not to mention, she dealt with the real. Growing up very pale skin with bright red hair wasn't seen anywhere, but this Ariel looks like me and many children. Her facial features are perfect. I can definitely see why she was casted. Amazing job. Not to mention, no, darn, I'm on the wrong one. Now, Ursula was perfect as well. Melissa McCarthy did amazing at embodying the sea witch who swears she's sexy in the original. She did it with poise, not overly done for the PG rating, but not leaving you wanting more. It was right on point. I recommend many go back and watch the organically no. Only two things that were changed in the actual storyline. Yeah, yeah, organically, two things that were changed in the storyline. I said it right. Which, if you were to watch with an open mind, you will realize why Ariel is African American and why Prince Eric has parents in this film. I think they did a beautiful job doing that as well as included parental figures on both sides, where before we only saw his butler. It gives children and parents opportunity to identify with them and try to hear each other out. Now, this is another part. They said I would say that I'm not a fan of Scuttle's song, and no fault of the actress because her voice was perfect for your annoying bird brain friend. All in all, I know this movie by heart, and I did miss my chef singing scene. Yes, but they made up for with an amazing interpretation on Under the Sea and every important scene there was and done beautifully. For once, I can say thank you, Disney, for not ruining my childhood memory and actually improving it without adding anything unnecessary or even close to, in quotation marks, wokeness. So this is seeing so many good reviews is amazing. And here's my review on it. I agree with everything that the good reviews said. When I first watched it and when I first heard that they were going to do a live action remake of The Little Mermaid, I was like, okay, like this is one of my favorite movies. And when they said, okay, Halle Bailey's gonna be Ariel, I was like, oh my God, I know. I was like, that girl can sing. I was happy that they had casted her to be Ariel. I said, I know she's gonna kill it because Halle Bailey has an angelic voice. When I tell you that she can sing, she can sing. Matter of fact, she can sing. There we go. You gotta put some stank on it. She can sing. And to see young black girls, see someone like them on the screen, it warmed my heart because I was like, okay, you don't see a lot of representation for young black girls. You don't see that. And the fact that you have an African American woman playing The Little Mermaid, one of Disney's most well-known princesses, to have Halle Bailey play her and seeing so many little black girls, young black girls, amazed and happy, and every time I saw it on TikTok with when the moms, they would film like their daughters looking at the teaser trailer for The Little Mermaid, they'll see Halle and they'll be like, oh mama, they'll just be happy. That warmed my heart because I was like, this is what little girls need. Little black girls need. Young black girls. This is what they need. They need to see more of people that have the same skin color as them. They need to see more of their representation. And despite everything that the racist people had to say, despite everything about that, Halle still showed up and showed out. She did not care what they said, because what she's doing, she was making money. She was making little girls believe you could do whatever you want to do in life. You could do whatever you want to do. Who cares what people are gonna say? People are always gonna talk. They're always gonna talk. You can't let people, you can't let their comments get you down. You gotta let them talk, because one thing about it, they're sitting at home. They're sitting at home, not doing anything with their life. They're not doing anything with their life. But you can go out there and be whatever you want to be. So to all the black girls, do whatever you want to do. And that's why I was so glad to see the black community. We rallied together. We was like, okay, you know what? We go show up and show out for the Little Mermaid. We're going to go. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to be there for the Little Mermaid. We're going to see it. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to take our daughters. We're going to take our sons. We're going to take everything. To be up there at the movie theaters, showing your children, black boys, black girls, who cares? You could show your son. You could be a prince, or better, you could be the king. Look, you could be a merman. Whatever you are, desire, whatever you want to do, you could be. Don't care what anybody say. Don't let anybody talk you out of doing what you want to do. And to all the racists, to all the people that had something to say about this movie, some always had something to say about Halle's skin tone, because she wasn't a pale white woman with red hair. Get a life. Get a life. Because one thing about it, you was just doing a lot of talk, and the movie still did good. People are still talking about it. But what were you gonna do? Stop people from trying to see it? You can't do that. You can't. Too bad. So sad. Hopefully you find some joy in life. But I know you won't. So, continue to be miserable. But as for everyone else, we're going to be happy. We're going to find joy. That is all the time I have for y'all today. So tune in next time for another episode of The Christian J Show.